Ah! This is not good. Aha! So today I wanted to do a little bit of an interesting video that I've been debating for quite some time now. So I wanted to do a video on my recording settings, and not just that, but like the best settings for basically everything in here, because I feel like I've been doing this long enough, quite a while now, where I can actually give a lot of insight into how to make your settings look really good. So if I actually change this over to my other monitor, you'll see. Haha, I was watching Reggie's videos. This is one of our Minerva members for our Minecraft server. He's making one of his first videos on YouTube, and I like it. You know, I'm interested in what he's saying, but as far as video quality is concerned, I know that YouTube compresses it to hell, but you can tell that he's got some problems going on here. And I wanted to make a video on exactly how to solve those, what to deal with, and this should work for pretty much every single system. So first and foremost, you're going to need to make sure that this is going to be a little bit of an easy step, but the first thing you're going to want to make sure is where you're recording these to. So I think it's under broadcast settings. You can go down to a certain file path. Now I believe that default for Windows will put you under videos for your C drive. The file path will be kind of up here. If I can actually do properties, it should show it right here. It'll be under users, your name, and then videos. I have an external, well, internal, but a separate hard drive altogether where I have a recordings folder, and that's where it puts all of my recordings. And then if you do the money sign next to the T, it'll just write the time. So this is like the year, month, day, and I think this is the exact second, and then I'm not actually sure what the last one is. I think it's year, oh yeah, and then this is the exact hour of day, so this is 1540, and then it gives you the exact second. So it's very, very specific on what time of day it was made, and you can use that. It'll be easier to record. It'll be easier to manage your files that way. Some people, you can name it to whatever you want. I mean, you can just set it to like recording, and then it'll just be recording, and then recording parentheses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for all of your clips. And I don't know if I can show this exactly right away because I did this a very long time ago. If I actually go into my archives, yeah, but this is a different tip for a whole other day, is keeping track of all of your recordings. Let's get back to OBS settings. So let's get to encoding. This is one of the most important things that I feel like most of these tutorials kind of gloss over, and that's your bitrate. So what I want to mention with Reggie's video here is clearly his bitrate was fairly low. That's why you have all that artifacting, all those giant pixels. I'm going to move this. Oops, let's cancel that. Move this off the screen so it stops being Inception. Its bitrate is really, it's the most, bitrate is the amount of information that you're giving that you're allowing your computer to record every single second. So you can see I'm recording this video at 14,000 bitrate. That to me is a very comfortable size. In fact, if I can show some of my past recordings, let's go to one of my recent videos here, you can see that the file size of my video is about 1.6 gigabytes, and it was actually about 16 minutes. So 14,000 works out for me to be about 100 megabytes every minute, which is a nice even file size. I think YouTube recommends you do about an 8,000 bit rate for 1080p recording, which you can change here. But if you scale it down to 720, then I think 3,000, 3,500 is a really good bitrate for that as well. Just to kind of drive home my point, let me just show you what happens if I take off this one and start recording at 4,000 bitrate. So this is pretty close to how I used to record. I'm not sure if this is going to make like a huge difference because I'm just kind of staring at my screen. So let me actually pull up Minecraft here and show you what this looks like in game, for example. So you can see as I log into my world here, it's just a lot less data. The video probably looks a lot less clear, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. They've surely changed, you know, they've downed the quality quite a bit to keep down on file size, and it just looks bad. So let me head back to 14,000 bitrate and you'll see the difference. Now that might not have been the best example because 4,000 is still a decent bitrate. That's kind of streaming quality, but surely at 14,000 here you can see this is a much bigger difference. Once again, on YouTube you're not going to be seeing 14,000 bitrate, but it'll be close enough. So let me head back to my settings here and show you guys, like, bitrate is important, and constant bitrate, all of these checked. I don't know a ton about that, but it's an important thing to keep track of because it can make your 1080p video go you can increase the quality a lot with just this simple setting. Now the encoder is also specific, very important. So I record with my GPU because, as you can see, I make mostly Minecraft videos, which is a heavily CPU intensive game. So your X264 is like movie quality. This is what professionals use, and that records mostly with your CPU. If you don't know a ton about computer hardware, I apologize, but this is important. So this will use most of your CPU, so if you know that you have a better graphics card, or if you have an NVIDIA graphics card especially, NVIDIA NVENC is pretty good. I use it, I stand by it, it's done good by me. I use it whenever I can. To me, it looks about the same as X264. I really can't tell a difference, so use whatever you want. I also play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, if I can show that on my desktop. And this game is also heavily GPU intensive, so when I'm streaming that, I actually switch to my CPU. So kind of do whatever's best for you on there. And that's pretty much the most important part. Bitrate is key. Now the next part is kind of recording at your native resolution. So I have a 1080p display. A lot of people, this is mostly for my Nerva members actually, because a lot of these guys like Reggie here are up and coming and they're making videos, and I noticed that a lot of them are making very rookie mistakes. And one of these things is playing on a laptop. I know that this is a great budget solution. Laptops are great. I'm on a proper desktop here where I've built this computer to do what I need it to do. But when you're just starting out, like I was, on a laptop you typically have like a 1366 by 768 or even a 720 display, or maybe like a 1600 by, what was it, 950. It might be one of these resolutions, 1536 by 864. This is a good, I think this is a laptop resolution, I'm not really sure. But these are all just scaled. 1080 is a nice, clean display. It's kind of standard among everything. 30 FPS is a good quality. I mean, I think it looks fine. It's easier to stream on YouTube. 60 looks smoother, of course. If you can record at 120, you might as well go for it. I play on a 144 hertz monitor, so I can go that high, but I mean, YouTube playback's up to 60, so you might want to cap it there. Obviously, if you play on a 4K display, you might want to consider that, but I'm assuming if you've bought a 4K display, you hopefully shouldn't need these. Typically, people who buy those things kind of know what they're doing, but 4K, you definitely want a higher bitrate than what I just showed. This is 14,000 for my 1080p display. If I was recording at 720, I'd probably make that like 8,000 or something, but depending on your CPU or GPU, you might not be able to handle such a high bit rate, so you kind of have to tweak the settings and deal with what you can. For example, when I used to stream in a lower bit rate, I would select 720, and then because Twitch likes to throttle you, or Twitch prefers you record at 3500, or it used to, I would bump this down to 3500 and then stream at 720, because 1080 at 3500 bitrate just looks terrible. And these are a lot of things I'm learning from experience. I've learned from experience. LAN shows is just, it's the best. You don't want to just mess with, don't leave that as it is. Audio, you probably want to record from your headset. Hopefully if you're just using one headset, this shouldn't be a big deal. Obviously buying a better headset's a big consideration for a YouTuber. I used to use Turtle Beach headsets. They weren't too great. For a lot of the newer members I've been seeing, Audacity might be a good thing. Look up some tutorials on how to filter out noise reduction, that kind of stuff. That white hiss in the background, something nobody likes to hear. As you can see listed here, I have a Logitech G430 gaming headset, which does the job. I mean, you guys can obviously attest to it because you're hearing it in this video right now. I think it sounds pretty good, and wearing it on my head, the speakers are pretty nice. Hotkeys, totally up to you. My recording key is F7. I actually have this as a macro on my keyboard. Very, very convenient when you're recording a lot of clips for like a Let's Play or something. Now, this preset is kind of up to you. I use high quality for my GPU, keyframe interval 2, encoding profile high. That will, I think, bump it on the that'll bump it on the priority for your task manager stuff. So like you can actually go through here, find OBS, and then you can like go to details, and then you can you can, I think, set priority. Yeah, and you can actually set that higher. That'll help you with your recording, but it'll bog down your system a little bit more, so just be aware of that. Process priority class normal. I think that's mostly the priority, but the encoding profile, I believe high looks better, so I might have led astray there, but I was talking about kind of the same thing. Advanced, this is all for NVENC. I just selected high quality because it says high quality. I haven't messed with too much. Lossless might be a lot more strict, a lot more demanding on your system, but like I said, since I'm uploading to YouTube 99% of the time, it really doesn't make sense for me to have that lossless quality, because that's just going to be a higher file size, and it's not a big, and it's just not going to make a big difference. I also mentioned the hard drive thing earlier. I'm recording on a 3 terabyte drive, so you might want to record with your bitrate based on what kind of files you want to have. If you delete all your footage after you're done recording, then this probably doesn't matter to you. But like my boot drive, you can see here, is only about 240 gigs, where I only have about 48 gigs available. So, you know, record to what's best for you. And, you know, an extra hard drive in your system, if you're on a desktop, these aren't too expensive. It might be a bit tricky to install if you don't know how to do that, but you can get like a 2 terabyte drive refurbished for about 50 bucks. That's kind of what I did. In fact, that's this drive here. It was a nice, cheap drive, and it's done the job. Been using it over a year, so there you go. And that's pretty much it. I don't encode in full range. I use constant frame rate. I keep it pretty simple, and mainly the things that I'm changing here are my encoding and my encoder. So this is my bitrate and my encoder. These are just two things I swap between when streaming, and yeah, so this isn't like an ultimate guide to OBS. I don't know everything, but from what I've shown you here, this should probably cause a lot of your recording problems to go away. Like I mentioned, like just a higher bitrate would have made Reggie's video here look significantly better. Now, I could give a lot more tips that are specific to Minecraft. Like you can see that his bedrock here is really sparkly. As he moves around, it sparkles a lot. That, oh, there's a good one. Yeah, all the sparkles. Because when he held it still there, it gives the image a nice long time to map itself. When you encode that, it does something different. That's because his bitmap levels are different, but now now that's just a little bit more specific to Minecraft. So if you have that down, it's super not analyzed or anything. So that's it. That's a bit of a ramble. Just kind of hopefully this should help you guys make better videos in the future that look cleaner and hopefully inflate your hard drive and make your videos look super professional. So those are just my personal tips, my personal recording settings, and hopefully this helps some of you guys. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below or hit me up on Discord with the link in the description below. If you play Minecraft and are interested in joining a patron server, our server is launching October 2nd, 2017. If you're watching this in the future, then I'm assuming it's still available. It depends if this is months or years in the future, but if you want to click the Patreon link in the description below, you can get all the information there. I hope this helped you guys, and thanks for watching.